Hi, welcome back to Camp Canine. Tony here. I thought you hadn't seen chickens for a little while and you might like to see them. We've been having a bit of progress in the chicken area. So this is just all makeshift covers for them at the moment because the weather's turning in and it's getting wetter and I didn't know what cover they would want. So we added some covered areas here and here, put some covers over the top of the run here, but I think it needs to probably come down a little bit further. There's the coop, which is soon to be very outgrown, we're hoping. Excuse the leftover pots of sour cream, they really do enjoy that. So there was a lot of growth here. This whole entire corner was just brambles, which was lovely in the way that it gave them a load of blackberries to eat not long ago, but it was becoming a bit intrusive. So we've cut it all the way back, and the bushes along here we've turned into trees. We've clipped every growth down here. So they've lost their bushes that they were hiding under, unfortunately, but it's opened it up an awful lot more. And we've done the same all the way down here and into this, whoops, where's my finger going, into this corner here, which again cleared the bottom growth on those bushes in that corner there. The reason why I'm hesitant about moving the camera around is because we have given the chickens their own day room. They've got a polytub on. So I was feeling really sorry for them because it was raining and they didn't really have anywhere to sort of get a lot of cover from the rain, and it's only going to get worse. So I wondered what to do. I think it needs some more straw bales. So, but it's a start. I'm also storing their food and bedding bits in there as well, and hoping that the wind doesn't take it at any point in time. In addition to that, if you remember, I had the old Ottoman bed here that they were using to just roost on the slats. So we put up this A-frame over the top of that. It's just got an old blanket. We call it the teepee. It doesn't look anything like a teepee. But someone named it the teepee because of the colour of the blankets, I think, or something. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, it retains that that impossible name for it. But they do like to, there's nobody in there at the moment, but they do like to go in there and to roost away from the weather, which is wonderful. A little bit of pecking order going on there. This is little Speckles. She's hanging out where Speckles always loves to hang out, with her mirror. We had hoped when we went to the Ardingly show, the South of England autumn show, that we were going to be able to get Speckles a mate or a companion, because she was very much on her own. We didn't. We came back with 2 Morans and 2 beautiful Orpingtons. And they're finding their way around the garden very well. So they're getting better, they're getting closer. They've spent the first few days now very much separate. What happened was that there we go. She's somewhere safe. Oh nope, she's not going to accept that. Speckles is a lower ranking hen, and the Morans have just discovered that they can perch on the top of this. So the pecking order states that only the top hens can be on the top rung. So I may have to rethink this. We may have to go with the teepee idea. That way there's no roost on the top. We're having a staring out match. So basically what happened initially was that when we first put them in, the 2 reds very much are always the bosses, and then blue is below them, and then Speckles was below them. And what happened was when we brought in the 4 new ones, they'd come from 2 different batches. They synced together as a foursome, and the original 3 guys that had bossed and driven Speckles out of their group can count. So their safety in numbers, they brought her into their little flock. So we ended up with, you watch it, she's an original, don't you boss her around. I feel sorry for Speckles. So, and she's going through a molt at the moment. So the 4 new ones, they've got the most glorious feather coat. They really have beautiful feathers. But my 4 originals are going through a molt at the moment, losing their summer feathers and gaining their winter feathers, and they look really a bit rough around the edges. It looks like Speckles retained her position. Way to go, Speckles! You're not bottom of the flock anymore. So yeah, so basically there was a knock-on side effect that I'm just gonna, excuse me whilst I get my leg over. So we'll look at these guys while I'm talking. So yeah, rather than Speckles being out on her own, she got taken in with the original flock. So they, I was really quite pleased with that because it gave her friends, and she'd felt a bit of an outsider, I think. I thought she was feeling that way, and I didn't like my little Speckles feeling that way. These 3 are getting, I did help them, I did sprinkle something in there. They may have had a few mealworms to introduce them in. Okay, so then the Morans, these are the black ones. Black ones have got a little bit of copper around here. When they get round to laying eggs, they're going to be nice chestnut, chocolatey coloured eggs. They are definitely more senior than the Orpingtons. The Orpingtons are pretty low in the pecking order. They are absolutely beautiful birds, but they are a little bit flighty. I have been told that they were cuddly, so maybe it's just the fact that they haven't got used to me yet. We have Red here, pecking her own reflection in the mirror. Oh, Speckles, I am so proud of you up there. Yes, I am. Literally just had a bit of a clean out in the coop, and their bedding goes into this raised bed. This is the one and only raised bed at the moment that is clear of plants, apart from the last little bit that is caged at the end. Oh, did you fly? Kind of, sort of. I have actually got a lot of composting sort of small branches and leaves that have come off of the willow underneath here. So what I am hoping is that they will roost in there and they will poop in there and add to the composting. So what will happen is you've just caught me, I've just bunged this lot in here. I won't worry about raking it in because the girls are going to do that for me. They love this bed, so it's going to be a shame for them when I plant it up again. But when I plant this one up again, another one's going to come free. And when another one comes free, they can have access to that one and they can play to the heart's contention there. So the way the ranking goes at the moment is that the Reds, without a doubt, hold top ranking position. They're the ex-battery hens. Between them, I would say that possibly Red. Do you know what? It's a little bit like this. Possibly Red, maybe Chesty. Chesty's got the bald chest, and Red is a little bit redder than the other one. They are top gurus in this flock. Then, from what I've seen, the Copper Morans come next in line. Underneath the Coppers, we go back to the original flock, and we have Blue, the Bluebell, just there. She just there, and she's next ranking. And then, woohoo, then the question comes, is it the Orpingtons or is it Speckles? Dear little Speckles. It is a good question. Sometimes I think that Speckles has the upper hand just occasionally, a little bit more confidence for being the original flock. But then I see the Orpingtons interact with her, and if they come close, size counts for everything, and she's a little bit nerved and she walks away, she flutters away from them. So maybe it's the Orpingtons, and then maybe it's Speckles at the bottom. So poor Speckles, right at the bottom. We had our wood pile all the way along here. We've it's gone to be wood for the fire, so it's cleared a lot of area here, which enabled us to put up the polytunnel, which is great. Where are you going, Blue? You've had enough? Speckles, my sweetheart, are you going to say hello to the camera? You want to say hello to the camera, Specs? I'm not sure. Won't get any closer to you? Nope. Speckles pretty much runs from anything and everything. Bless her. No, there we go. Oh, the Morans are thinking about closing in on the treats. But these two girls, they want them all. Jesse's had a bit of a dust bath. I was worried that maybe the stop laying was to do with mites, because everyone keeps talking about mites, but I've checked them over. There are no mites. So we're okay. Blue, that's our drainage ditch. It's a good job it's just rained. You're getting a nice fresh drink of rainwater. You do definitely prefer the rainwater, don't you? We have some building work planned. I'm not going to give away any secrets right now. But in amongst that, I am really hoping that we are going to do some water catchment projects and start recycling the water, especially at this time of the year, and use it for feeding the birds and washing the dogs. Speckles, I really want to get a bit closer to her. I might have to pinch her out of the coop tonight. When they go to sleep at night, they're so docile, and you can pretty much do anything with them at that time. So rather than put her through any stress of trying to catch her when she's not really in the mood to be sociable with me. I'll wait until she's dozing off in the coop, and then I'll just lift her gently out of there and take her inside and just check her over for mites, because she's the last one and she's just looking a little bit peaky. I just don't like the colour of her cone, and her face. She's just a bit pale, and I don't like that. Whereas you, my darling, are as deep red as ever, aren't you? Blue. And I can see you're molting a little bit as well, but not like the others. I was about to go around the back here to get a closer look at the Morans. They're not here. They're in there. Now for the original flock to be this close, where there's food considered around, with the newbies, is such a good sign. They're eating in the same vicinity. If it was mealworms that were all down there, no, the Reds would not let them see anything. But I just put some corn down in there to encourage the use. Chesty's not quite sure. She's making some slight noises of discontent. But the Morans, they're pecking away in there. Can you see through the plastic? Not that clearly.